Hi everyone, my name is Gofiwa and welcome to this coding tutorial. So in this video I'll walk you through coding with Python using Raspberry Pi Foundation. It is an introduction to Python project. So this is a hands-on session and whatever you see on the
I
screen
figured out
is what you will be doing
was
in
I
your
didn't
respective code
indent
labs.
the print.
Basically just reading the instructions and doing step by step as the instructions says, and make sure you follow along, pause when you need to, and try these things out on your own. So let's dive in. So the first thing that I want us to do is to observe what we have here. But before I forget, something very important is that you have to sign in. You have to sign up if you don't have an account, or log in if you have an account, right? As it says here, log in to save. So if you want your work to be saved in your account, you have to log in. So this is what we're doing. I'm using a link that will be provided to the teachers and the students. So this is the link. It will be provided. So the first one is reading through the instructions, exploring what we have here. So we have the instructions here, and we have the workspace here, and then this is where the output will go. So the first project is printing hello world. So it says display the word hello on the screen. In Python, print output string words or numbers to the screen. Type the code to print hello to the screen. So we're going to observe here on our workspace that we have something similar to this, which is number 10 here. It is also here, and we have number 11. So this is where we're gonna start, and we're gonna print hello. So we're gonna type print hello. Okay, hello, right? Yes, yes. Then it says, as you scroll down, click the run button. This is what you should see when you run your code. So we're gonna run the code and see if we have the same thing here on the on our output text. So yes, that's what we have here. I used a small h, so I can correct that and then run again. Yes, yeah. So there you go. You have typed your first statement in Python, which is printing hello. So we're gonna move on to the next step, and you're gonna see this part here. It's tips. So it's gonna tell you what you have to do to understand what the code is all about. Since when you type an opening bracket, the code editor will automatically add a closing bracket. So just like you have seen, I don't need to add both the brackets individually. When you start with the first one, the opening, it will automatically add the closing. So this is what happens when you and this also happens when you put an apostrophe, right? Yes, like we typed the function hello. Yeah, it automatically opened both of them. And also we have here the debugging. It will tell you when you have an error, and you need to read these messages to actually know what you're reading, what you're doing wrong. Sorry. So yeah, go on mo. It's so simple. Also, I think it's so simple, and it's step by step. It's direct. So to the next one, where we're going to continue with the next steps. So in the next step, it's talking about variables, and variables. Okay, let me just read what is written, not bring it from my head. A variable is used to store values such as text or numbers. So basically, it's a placeholder. Just like we have here world, and we have bees, um, emojis. So gore o dirise these emojis, you have to have the variable name world. So that's basically what a variable does. It stores values, text or numbers. So you have to choose a sensible name for the variable to make it easy for you to remember and also to make it make sense. Yeah. So how there is the word world and the emojis are represented with globes, it makes sense. Or a python and then yeah, that and fire and then yeah, like that. So how can okay, so this is what I'm trying to see. Or when you're writing something, let's say hello world and then your emojis ki penguins. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So this is basically what variables help you do. So you're encouraged to use reasonable names, names tse leng gore le wena o tla o bala o re okay, this is my variable, le wena ba tlhaloganya gore variable ya gago e emetseng. So already we have variables here. We have Word, we have Python, we have Fire, right? So we're gonna move to the next step, printing variables. So it says print the contents of a variable. Change your code to also print the contents of Word variables. You can do this by adding the the variable name in curly brackets. Let's scroll down. Oh yeah, yeah. So this is how we're gonna do it. In this line, inside the apostrophes, we're gonna open curly brackets, type world. Yes. And close the brackets. So already we have world here. So the expectation is hage run another code. It's on to insert these emojis saying idioms to get the word world, right? So that's the expectation. So we're gonna go ahead and run the code and see if it does what it's supposed to do. Yes, it does that, but I need to space a little bit for precise as the one here. So yes, we have run the code and yeah, it has spaced. So basically we are on the right track. So if you have been following these steps and your code looks like mine, you're doing good, you're doing well. So let's go ahead. We also have tips for the next step actually for every step on our tips in debugging. So we're gonna move to step number 3. Number 3 is print another variable. So you print the contents of Python variable. So add another line to your code to print more text and emojis. We have tried with the first one, hello world. So there's another one. So we're gonna do what we have been doing. You type print, you open, and then you open your brackets and type in what you want to print out. So let's do that. So basically it's what's here. I'm typing it on my workspace. So okay, print, open. No, I think this can still apply, but no, let's just do what we're supposed to do. Welcome to, and we are calling the variable Python. Yes, close curly brackets. This should be it, and then run. Hello, welcome to Python. So let's see if it looks, yeah, exactly. It looks like the one here. So this is the step we are at now. We're going to continue with the next one, and here we're dealing with operators. In Python, we can work with numbers and dates. We can use arithmetic operators such as plus, minus to do calculations. So it has the add, the subtract, the multiply, the divide, and the exponent variables. Operators. Sorry, operators. So we're going to learn how to use the operators, addition, subtraction, in Python. So it says Add two more print lines to your code, including a multiplication for Python to calculate. So does it actually know everything? There's a line that says Python knows everything. I've seen it. Yeah. Python knows everything. Yeah. I think it's in the next step. Yeah, so we're gonna put the code here again. Line 13. So I think okay, I encourage you to type, but I'm just gonna copy this because I need to keep this video shorter, right? So visualize, yes, yes. So basically, you open the curly brackets for the variable, and yeah, for this one also. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we are multiplying this number by this number. So we are expected to find answer. Yeah, these many numbers as you can see here. So okay, we're gonna run the code. Yes, it looks like that. Python is good at math. Yeah, yeah, this is the line I was talking about. Python is good at math. Also an important point that has been highlighted here, don't forget that the uppercase and the lowercase letters are important in Python. Always check um always check that you're using the correct case. So let me see where it applies. Sorry. We have, okay, the variables, they use smaller letters. Okay, we're good. Okay, great. So our cases are correct. The print is a smaller letter, and I think we have every case correct at the moment. So actually, we're gonna use modules. So it says Python has many modules that you can use in your code to help perform certain tasks. To use a module, you first need to import it. You import the module that you need to use. So here we are using the date time module. So which means we have to import it. So okay, good imports. The imports, how color code, they are the first things that it pele. So the imports. So if you're writing a Python code, a Java code, imports ditagope. So this is what we're doing. We're gonna, let me copy because we try to save time. And please, I encourage you to type. Please type, because you learn more and you retain better when you have typed the code. So yeah, this is it. Okay, we're good, right? So when you run this code, nothing should change. You should have the same input as the previous step. We have added a code, but nothing should change yet because we have not used the input yet. So we're gonna run just to prove it. Let's just run the code. Yeah, we basically have the same thing again. So check that you have spelled date time correctly and it's all in like it's just like cases that it's very important in sorry, in Python to get your cases correct. So date time actually it is correct. So we're gonna continue to actually call the import. So it says add another line to your code to print the current date and time. The current date is 27/06/25. Time is 2050. So let's get the current date and time using the now function. So which means we have a function that we have to add. Let's see. Add this, copy that. Now function, copy. Um, okay, let me just put it underneath. Visualize. Okay, so as of today is this date and this is the time. So it means the code is working and it's doing what it's supposed to do. So rashapo for now. We're good. So yeah, it says this is what you should see when you run the code, but the date time will be different depending on the time you're running the code and the day you are running the code or using this function. So yeah. Yes. So another thing is checking all your brackets if they are open and they are closed. So we have here, it has so many brackets. So you have to check if all the brackets are opened and all the brackets are closed. Otherwise, it is going to give you an error. So let me see the error that I will get when I don't close. Let me run. Yeah. Syntax error, right? String expecting a curly bracket in line 16. Line 16 is here. We are expecting a curly bracket here. So let's add the curly bracket. Run. Now we have a perfectly running code. So be careful with the brackets. The brackets di kgona go senyetsa code. Code ya gago yotlhe o e kodile sharp e le kgang ya di bracket hela. And then your entire code will be wrong. So let's continue with functions. So we have way there. There are the function. We have a section of functions here. Functions are blocks of code that perform specific tasks. They're used over and over again. So function, you can call a function so many times in your code. So here we're gonna use this function as an example. So the name of this function is called add1. This is the function name, right? Your function has to have defined function and then the name and then the brackets and then the code. So this code, the code for the task you want the function to do needs to be intended, which means that you need to add 4 spaces before each line of the code. Calling a function runs the code inside it. You call a function by using the name of the function. So if you want to call it, you're gonna type, instead of print, you're gonna type this add1 underscore 1 and 1. So let's try it out. We're gonna do a function roll a dice. So you create a function called roll a dice that prints out number 4. So let's do it. We're gonna put this at the function definition section. Visualize. We got it. Let me just space underneath so that it's neat. So yeah. So then call the function at the bottom of your code. We're gonna call the function. It's fine. We're gonna call the function at the bottom of the code. Yeah. Here, roll a dice underscore dice. So make sure that your cases are correct. So it's roll a dice with smaller cases. It means that when you call it, it should be small cases at the also. So we're gonna run the code to see what we get. Oh, a bad line at 10. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. What did I do wrong? Okay. Okay. No, but I think everything is fine. What's going on? At line 10, what did I do wrong? Oh. Yes. Let's see if it works. Start. Still given the same problem. Let me see what I did wrong. Roll a dice, read statement, define roll a dice. Yes. It's a bad input at line 10. What's the bad input? Hopefully I can figure this out now, because we need to get going. Okay, how about I type this or just do this again to ensure that it's nicely written, right? We're here. Function is called roll underscore roll underscore dice, right? Open brackets. Okay, I figured out the problem. The problem was I didn't indent the print. So if it's giving you that problem, make sure that you have indented four spaces as said here at the tip, right? Yeah. And also these debugging tips, they also help you with your code. So we're gonna continue to the next step. So this is what the code has printed. Actually, let me just count. Yeah, Iprintile, you have rolled a 4, just like we have written here. And also we have called the method kotasukwan or roll dice omo functioning, and so that's why we were able to print the function. So how about this? How about I delete the to see if it will still print? Yeah, so since we didn't call the function higher printer sepa, so it means that when you call the function and also use print dice, that's when you get your output. Yeah, just like this. So that's a lot to the next one. We're using another import, we have already used we have already imported date time, so now we are importing random int. So import the randint function from the random module. Another module called random can be used to create random numbers. So if I cut them to scroll some reason and I don't have my mouse with. So the import from random import random int, right? Yeah, so we are now able to use the import, so your code will not change, just like it didn't change when we only put the import and didn't use it anyway. So with the rest of the code to just use the import. So we're still rolling the dice, so go the functioning that we have here. Functioning, instead of you have rolled 4, just a random number between when it should pick a random number between 1 and 6. So number ladder is ordinarily 6 is up to 6, so it picks a number between that. Okay, friend, yeah, and open brackets 1 6, yes, Everything, every bracket gets out of it. It's open and closed. Good enough. Let's run. So at random, it picked a 1. So it means orolile 1. So we're gonna try it again to see what roll number I next. This time it's a 6. That's a good one. Let's have fun with this. Another 6. Good. Oh, a 1. Let's see if it's a 5. Okay, so I think we've run this enough to just conclude that it is indeed at random between 1 and 6. Yeah, so ra go tswalla with the next step. Step is sengwe ke multiplying strings. Let's see. Okay, so in Python you can multiply strings as emojis or as whole words by a number, so they print out several times. So store the random number in a variable called roll. So we're gonna introduce a variable called roll in this function. Okay. Okay, I think my PC is frozen. Is it? Oh, what? I don't know. No. Okay, so let's continue with the random integer. So I'm gonna write random int, set a variable to random integer 1 6 again. So when we get here, we call the variable roll and we multiply it by fire. Let me just copy whatever is in here because I can't see. Okay. No, never mind. Let me just type it. Open curly brackets, fire. We multiply it by roll. So yes. Okay. Curly brackets. Okay, good. Let's see. Yeah. So we already called the random integer. So let's run. Yes. So you have rolled a runner between 1 and 6, which is 2, and you have multiplied that by fire. Yes. So it means that you're gonna have fire. So here it's represented ilo 1. So ra go multiply whatever random number that you have ka the fire. So fire 1, so we're gonna multiply it by a random number we get. So we got 2, so which means we're gonna have 2 emojis the fire. So let's run that again and see if it changes. Yes, we got 3 and now we have 3. So let's continue to, then let me see if I missed any pointers that are important. Yeah, basically the brackets part that we already checked. So yeah, we're on the right track. Let's see. Get input. Allow the person using your program to type the same input, right? You can use input to ask the person using your program to enter text and save it as a variable, right? Let's see. Okay, let's study the code and see what we have here. Okay, so we have here, how many sides are on your dice? Let's see. Oh. how many sides are on your dice. So this is a D, roll random integer, da, 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 da. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna add 2 lines. So let me just copy these 2 lines. The max, the number of sides on your dice, and pick the maximum. So it's here, right? Visualize. Let's see, what do we have? Click the run button, ensure that you press the enter key after inputting how many sides. Okay, this is what you should see on your code. So how many sides is your dice? Let's see if it asks that question. How many sides is your dice? So this is where you input text, right? So it provides a prompt for text. It asks you a question. So it's how many sides on your dice. So when are you gonna put a random number or whatever number there is, right? So let me just put 15, right? And then enter, right? So D is 15, we rolled a 5. So we're gonna do this again to actually get the concept. Okay, and then we are input text. So did I type 2? Oh, not that. Yeah, so whatever you type, basically it does not detect if it's a number or what, but it basically receives whatever text that you will provide, and then it will edit here, just like here, because we've called max, so it calls the variable here, so it means whatever input that you're gonna provide, it's gonna be also called here. That is a D2 or D10 or D what. So let me need to just give you a thing, and then we can continue. So basically this is how it works. You input the function and be able to this method you input this key here, input, and then whatever text that you have then is gonna allow you to text. So this is just a variable name, and then yeah, the method, the variable. Okay. Okay, I think we're done with this one. We're gonna do the next, which one? This one says change the dice. Change the input data to an integer. Generate a random number between 1 and the number of sides the user typed in. So we typed in 15. So we're gonna change the integer, not from 6 to whatever integer that the user have put in. So we're gonna edit again. So inputs are always stored as text, but we need to use the input stored in max to specify the largest number that can be rolled. Max is a string, so it needs changing to an integer. So max is a string, that is why we were able to put 2 wamahoko and also 15 as number. So now we're going to be focused only on numbers gore re kgone go determine the maximum number. Yes. So okay, let's see. I am going to change here. We'll end integer max. This is where we change open bracket, max. Let's see if everything is correct. Okay, it's like let's run the code, and then yeah. And how many sides? Okay, so I'm gonna a number again. I'm gonna put 15. So let's press enter. So 15 is the maximum number that I have provided. Let's see. 15 is the maximum number, but I wrote a 14, so it means almost close to the maximum number. So you can have 15 here as the number that you've wrote. You can have 1, you can have any. Yeah. So this is the maximum number. It's only 6. So this is basically your 6. This 15 is going to be your 6. It's basically replacing your 6 with the number of sides on the dice. Right? Yeah. So I think this is it with this one. We can continue to the next step. Okay, so it says here practice adding more print lines to your code. Practice more print lines to your code. So let me see if I can add another variable. So you basically copy and paste any emoji here and then put it to represent your variable. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna add reading is equals to the books. Copy books here, visualize. Oh, I forgot the code. So make sure you have your codes, your variables are in a code. So let me just delete this, add the codes and visualize. And then I'm gonna add like, and then open, and then add the yellow heart. Copy it and then place it inside here. So I'm gonna write a line that says I like reading. So print open brackets. Yep. Okay. Right? It's gonna be like I, and then I'm gonna call the variable like here, right? And then I'm gonna call the variable reading. Oh no, wrong curly bracket. Okay, a lot. So let's run it and see if we get the concept of printing, we get the concept of using variables, we get the concept of coding with Python. Oh yeah, we have to do that. 12. Oh, there you go. It did. It called the variables. So I like reading a lot. So basically, motho go balang code ena a itse gore pelo e represent the like, and then the books represent reading. They are able to know gore code ya gago e kwadile eng. So you can just play around with these variables, these emojis to represent variables, and also play with the print statement. You can also use the operators. You can also use date time again to just yeah, it keeps on changing, by the way, when you run the code. So now it's 21:43. So I ran it a minute ago, and yeah, it changed. So um this was the last before the last. Now we have a quick quiz. Question 1 out of 3. The code sets the word variable to contain the text, right? Yeah, what is it called to that? Which code correctly uses the word variable? Output hello world. Output hello world. So here you have to identify the correct syntax for writing print hello world. So if you recall, the statement will always and always look like this, right? It's going to have a print and f, open codes, single quotes, and then with brackets. So now that we are calling a variable, it means the variable name since already in the curly brackets. So we're gonna find here, which I already know, already picked, the answer is correct. So I think the correct answer is this one. Yeah, this is the correct answer. Let's check my answer. That's correct. That's how you, yeah, that's how you print a statement in Python. Yeah, I mean, if you want to answer more questions, you can go for next question and just keep on answering the questions to just, see if you have actually understood the concepts. So after that, you are done with the first project. So this is basically it with coding with Python. You have learned so many things. You have learned variables, you've learned functions, you've learned inputs, you've learned um different methods. So yeah, this is basically it for this project, yeah, Python. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have learned a lot, just as much as I did, because I'm also learning from this project as well. So this is it, guys. Bye, and thank you for watching, and hope you use these resources. Hopefully you use them. But anyways, this is it. Bye.